Now, today, Prime Minister Netanyahu is convening a special hearing to decide on Israel's exit strategy from coronavirus lockdown. And the recent restrictions had been put in place to prevent the spread of the disease, and health officials say that we're not done yet. But economists warn that the country can't take much more. So joining us now to discuss is ILTV's contributor and consumer behavior expert, Dr. Vili Avraham. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, what is the plan for exiting the economic crisis caused by the coronavirus? And who will return to regular activities first?
Well, it depends who you ask, because there are two different plans. One is by the Ministry of Finance and the other one is by the Ministry of Health. And I'll just lay out the two different plans, but the final decision will be made Saturday night by the Prime Minister. But if you look, for example, of what the Ministry of Finance is recommending, so they say that 50% of employees should go back to work as of the 18th of April. Shops should open. Shopping centers with up to 15 shops should also open. Kids in special education and kindergarten should also go back to school. However, if you look at the Ministry of Health, it's a very different story. They advise only 30% of employees to go back to work. Citizens who are 65 or older and have underlying diseases should remain at home. And they also have limitations regarding sports activity. It can all be done with the family. And as opposed to the restrictions now, people will be able to have sports activities beyond the 100-meter limit. All right, so and this goes on and on with all the other stages. There are very major differences between the two ministries.
All right, so what about the most severely affected industry, tourism and aviation? Will they return to activity under this new plan in any way?
Well, if you look at what the Ministry of Finance is planning, then as of the 17th of May, everybody will go back to work, including the hotel industry and restaurants. If you look at what the Ministry of Health is advising, it's not clear when they will be going back to work, probably a lot after the 18th of May.
All right,
so I think there will be some compromise between the two ministries, because on the one hand, every day that people are not working and the economy is stuck, we're losing 1.5 billion shekels.
So yeah, I was actually, you're saying 1.5 billion shekels is the cost of quarantine per day?
Yes, it's the cost of no consumerism. Okay, sure. Remember, consumerism is the main thing that gets the economy going. People are not buying anything besides food. And the government is losing income tax because there's no activity. So that's a major blow to the economy.
Well, and there's also a big criticism of the poor response given to small businesses in Israel. Are they likely to receive any further aid?
I don't think so. And, you know, over Passover, there were a lot of reports on TV with different business people attesting to what happened to them when they turned to the government for help. And a lot of them were turned down. Out of 1,000 restaurant owners who turned to the government, only one got assistance. And what I think is the reason is because probably their significant other is making around 20,000 shekels a month, which I think is not fair, because, you know, when you have your own business, right, you have your own expenses, and it's not fair to look at what your partner is making.
All right, well, Vili, thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.